Na 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 na, yeah. I'm talking about this ghetto girl. No matter Texas, she's simple. Not because she's smile, you see her dimple, yeah. This ghetto girl. No matter Texas, she's soft. Right now, mood I take her autograph, you know. This ghetto girl. No matter Texas, she's simple. Not because she's smile, you see her dimple, yeah. This ghetto girl. No matter Texas, she's soft. Right now, mood I take her autograph. She only need a break in life, so you can see what she can do. She's conscious and polite, and ambitious too. She's so distant, she's so quiet. She only wants someone to keep her warm. And she's a warrior, she's a champion. Just give her a chance and see what she can do. This little ghetto girl. No matter Texas, she's simple. Not because she's smile, you see her dimple, yeah. This ghetto girl. No matter Texas, she's soft. Right now, mood I take her autograph. This little ghetto girl. No matter Texas, she's simple. Not because she's smile, you see her dimple, yeah. This ghetto girl. No matter Texas, she's soft. Right now, mood I take her autograph.
Let me get your picture up there while I put the inside of your motherfucking crib pictures up here, since we want to play games. Because she already said, oh, Nyla's not going to do that. She's not going to put stuff from the internet. Bitch, watch me. I'm going to do it now, you stupid, mental retarded bitch. And guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to report your motherfucking ass, you fucking drug addict. That's what I'm going to do for you. I'll be damned if you try to fuck up my family. I will be goddamned.
She'll never leave your side. She'll never stay away too far. Together we will ride any tide. Together we can win any war. Keep on down to your pride. I know that you can be a star. I know that you can strive. I know you know the way to stay alive. This little ghetto girl. No matter Texas, she's simple. Not because she smile, you see her dimple, yeah. This ghetto girl. No matter Texas, she's soft. Right now, mood I take her autograph, you know. This ghetto girl. No matter Texas, she's simple. Not because she smile, you see her dimple, yeah. This ghetto girl. No matter Texas, she's soft. Right now, mood I take her autograph, you know. Girl in town, the cleanest girl around. So proud that she can wear my crown. I'm talking about the ghetto girl. About that Texas, she's simple. Not because she smiles, you see her dimple, yeah. The ghetto girl. About that Texas, she's soft. Right now, mood I take her autograph, you know. The ghetto girl. About that Texas, she's simple. Not because she smiles, you see her dimple, yeah. The ghetto girl. About that Texas, she's soft. Right now, mood I take her autograph, you know. Ghetto girl. Ghetto girl. Talking about the ghetto girl.
And now for our feature presentation.
Soup Bone, Kira says she was saying you weren't being truthful, so you were lying. You were lying, Kira. I don't see Kira in here, but I heard what Kira told them. So I don't like Soup Bone. That's a good way to get blocked. You won't do that over here. We don't do that over here. Like, you lying like a motherfucker. Keep that bone carrying shit somewhere else. Keep that messy shit somewhere else. This is why I did not want to do this way, because of messy motherfuckers. This is why, honestly, whenever I am finally over with this shit, I'm closing this page down. I don't like the messy, unnecessary, lying, vindictive shit. Fuck out of here. Don't do it. You are lying though. Like, for real.
Where are the receipts? this situation with Nyla and Bayou since May. Since when it was going on, I knew about it. And I was like, look, y'all are friends. Keep that away from YouTube. Don't get YouTube involved in y'all personal business.
I didn't even know we had a situation, Carol. That's what's crazy. I didn't even know.
I honestly think she's hurt, Nyla. I'm being honest. Known about this situation with Nyla and Bayou since May. Since when it was going on, I knew about it. And I was like, look, y'all are friends. Keep that away from YouTube. Don't get YouTube involved in y'all personal business.
I didn't even know we had a situation, Carol. That's what's crazy. I didn't even know.
I honestly think she's hurt, Nyla. I'm being honest.
Yeah, it's stuck. Can y'all hear me? Hello?
I can hear you.
Hey, Kara, could you go ahead and respond? I'm gonna try to get up the rest of that screenshot.
Absolutely. So I want to say this, right? And I have no issues with Bayou. We actually talk pretty much every day. And I have been, for the entire time we've been talking, trying to convince her not to go public with all this information. Like, bottom line, I think y'all are real friends. You have a real friendship. Friends fall out, friends fuck up, friends work it out. So for me, it's been like, don't bring it to YouTube. However, there are two things that were said that I need to address. The first one I'm going to address with her first before I address it publicly, because I have a real problem with it. The second thing I want to address is this Carob told me something. I couldn't read the whole message, but Carob told me somebody was talking about me. First of all, let's be clear on some shit. Carob don't sit up and talk about none of you niggas. Okay. Carob is booked and busy. I don't sit up and talk about anybody. The only time I'm ever in a conversation is if someone brings some information to me. And when I'm told something, I go directly to the source. And so in that particular situation, that morning, I got a text message. I'm usually not up the same time y'all are up, especially if you're on the East Coast doing streams. So I may not catch the stream until like an hour and a half in. So JV was live. I got a text message that said, hey, JV, and matter of fact, let me read it. So let me read it. I don't want to misquote. Hold on. The text message says, JV is live right now talking about guns and shit. I know you and Bayou were talking about that last night. I don't know if she's taking a shot at you. That was the text message. I said, okay. So I hopped over to JV's stream. I spoke to her. She didn't speak back. I spoke to her again. She didn't speak back. So me being a grown ass woman, I shot JV a message and I was like, hey, like, I got this message that said you were talking about me. I don't think we have any issues or whatever. Like, and you didn't speak to me. So what's up? Are we all good or not? JV said, absolutely no, people are being messy, you know, the usual YouTube shit. I said, okay, cool. Well, I'm gonna make sure that I address the person who bought that water to me so we're all good. Bayou and I had a conversation that morning via the phone. Hold on, let me pull that up. This was, God damn it, August the 2nd at 7:45 a.m. my time. So at that time I was on the West Coast. We had a call for about 5 minutes and I told her, I said, hey, you know, I got a message that said JV was talking about us. I said, I'm going to shoot her a quick note. Well, no, actually, nope. I said that JV was taking shots at me. I went to her live stream. She didn't speak to me back. I'm going to shoot her a note and I'll let you know if anything's good. And she said, okay, what did she say? Then she said, can you talk? So we talked on the phone for about 5 minutes about a legal issue that she's working through. And she said, you know, it wasn't about us. She hit me up. She said it was about Angel. It's all good. She did mention she wanted you to know that it wasn't about you at all. And she said, okay. That was the extent of that entire conversation. It lasted less than 45 seconds. So I don't need no fucking body around here saying that Carob is, I don't do that. I don't give a fuck about YouTube like that. I don't know any of you people personally. I'm not invested in your lives personally. If I have something to say to you, I go directly to you, which is what I did. I went directly to JV and asked her a question. And after that conversation, it was literally a 45-second conversation. So I don't know if Bayou's around here saying that I'm telling her something, or I don't even do that. That's not even my style. If anything, the whole thing I've been saying I've known about this situation with Nyla and Bayou since May. Since when it was going on, I knew about it. And I was like, look, y'all are friends. Keep that away from YouTube. Don't get YouTube involved in y'all personal business.
I didn't even know we had a situation, Carob. That's what's crazy. I didn't even know.
I honestly think she's hurt, Nyla. I'm being honest. Like, and I'm not, and people saying,
you know what? She may be, it's just that I don't know it. But, and here's the thing, we did have a conversation where she felt like I was pushing her away for JV and Cass and everybody else. And what happened, and I'll tell you why I think that it may have hurt her, because I didn't side with her in this situation. But when she came into that chat box, I don't think you were in it, but when she came in there and she cussed everybody out, and it was like for no reason. And she cussed them out because she thought that by them sharing the videos that Suge was doing in the thing, because I don't watch them. So a lot of times I don't even know what they're doing, what he's doing, until somebody shares me a video. So when someone was sharing the video in the chat box, she came and started a call and literally went off on everybody. So I told her, I was like, well, and she was like, well, now they got an attitude. I was like, yeah, you went off on everybody. You snapped on everybody. That's why they went off on you. And I was like, but the thing is, like I was trying to explain, this is something that there's a pattern. It started, the first time I've seen her do it was with Princella Clark. I don't know if you know her, but she was big on YouTube at one time, but most of her following is on Facebook. She latched onto her and then made herself a victim of Princella when Princella didn't do anything to her. But because Princella acted cautiously when Bayou started acting crazy, she basically, turned on her. Then she did it to China. Turned on her, started saying she was talking about her and she was doing this. She literally I watched the shit in real time, fabricated big ass, crazy ass stories. And China had not did nothing. But the thing is, had I not been around and been in close proximity to China, then I would have believed her, because she was doing all the crying and she was like, babe, and all this kind of stuff. But because I knew it was bullshit. But I also knew that she got some serious issues. So I'm like trying to charge it to that. You know what I'm saying? Then it was Sean Scott on YouTube. She latched on Facebook. She latched onto him, and then it was a bunch of shit with him. And then like that finally blew over. And then it was me. But this is a pattern of stuff. And every time she would come and talk about how, well, I feel like you're taking their side and I've known you longer. And I was like, yeah, but those are my people too. And they didn't do anything wrong. It was wrong for you to go in there and cuss them out. She got mad because I didn't side. Mind you, when she was pulling all this shit, I'm in the fucking ER, Carob. And she knows this.
I know.
No, wait a minute. But she's telling me that I'm supposed to go and quote unquote handle them after she's cussed them out. They didn't like, and granted, maybe she feels hurt because I don't know why she would feel hurt, but she kept talking about how I don't have no feelings or emotions. Like I do, but I just can't, I can't play like that was right. Like what she did, that was wrong. She was wrong for doing that.
So she told me, I wasn't in that group chat, but she did tell me about it. And I'm going to tell you specifically what she said. And I hope that's okay with her. Like, I don't really like to tell people's business, but I'm going to tell you what she said. She was upset because when she asked the question about how Suge was getting all this information, she felt like you should have appreciated that as your friend. She was asking that question, and she felt like you kind of basically jumped down her throat about it, as opposed to saying like, hey, my friend is actually concerned about my, the fact that my information is getting shared. That's what hurt her. And that's not what happened, Carob. Like, there are witnesses. I don't think JV was on the phone, but I don't want to say his name because there was somebody else on the phone, but he keeps coming up and stuff and is irritating. So I'm not going to mention his name, but Irene was on the phone. Cass was on the phone. I did not jump down her throat.
I got off the phone and I had to go I was fucking in the emergency room.
But I think what she means is you didn't have her back. And she felt like that's questioning her loyalty, because as your friend, she asked the question because she was concerned about how Suge was getting all your information. And that's what it was about. She said, I asked, how is Suge getting all the information? And I don't know if her and like or whoever had an exchange. And she felt like you didn't really say anything, or you didn't have her back. And she was trying to be loyal to you as your friend. And I think that's what kind of was the catalyst for
if that were the actual thing, then I could understand that, but that's really not how it happened. She even snapped at me. Is Cass in the chat box? She snapped at me too when we called. And I was like, what is wrong? Because when I picked up the phone, she's cussing everybody out. And I'm like, what is wrong with you? And she was like, these snake motherfuckers, you don't know nothing about them. And so like she going off, and I'm like, they have definitely not did this. And I'm trying to explain that to her. And she's just, going off on them. And I'm like, okay, calm down. But if you're snapping and cussing people out, I can't stop them from responding to how you're talking to them. And so I'm trying to explain to her that it's a misunderstanding. And everybody is trying to do that. One of them, too, went to her personally to squash it. When she talked to me, I was like, look, I understand. And I told her, I appreciate you having my back. I said, but that was kind of crazy. And I was like, I said, I get it or whatever. And then I was explaining everything to her, but she still kept insisting that JV and all of them, I need to, watch them and all this kind of stuff. And then to me, one of the reasons why, even in her psycho shit, I can't even empathize with that, because 30 days later, she's chummy with the Grinch and all of them. What's the difference?
And Karen, can I say this? When she asked how is Suge getting all the information, keep in mind, she actually knows Nyla. And so we all know that like 95% of the shit he was saying was false. That's why he had to keep going back, changing the information, changing the videos. So the question
she was specifically talking about, because when we had said that we were moving, Taz had been saying on streams that we were moving. Some of the stuff that we were saying, it was so that,
right.
We knew what Suge was doing or whatever. But so I was she was like, well, how does he know y'all moving? Did you tell them people? Do you trust them? And I'm like, yeah, they knew, but also Taz has been saying it on live streams. So that is why most of the stuff that Suge does is he hears us say something and then he calls himself doing a deconstruction of it, and adds his little bullshit to it or whatever, the Astro Man and all of that shit or whatever. I was right. Like, but it's nothing to nothing to be alarmed. She's like, yeah, but he knows you're moving and all this kind of stuff. And I was like, yeah, and I kept explaining it to her, but she just kept, and I get it. It is triggering to see somebody doing that shit. But explain
and I had a question about those first messages. You said she said that you called her, so you tried to reach out to her before all this happened.
Yeah, I did. Well, now it is sometimes my phone, and you since we've been down in Mexico, you've experienced this too. Sometimes you can't get through to me or whatever. So, yeah. But she never said that she tried to call me. But as you can see, I was, responding to her back and forth. And I showed my and I think she said something about to show the first 3 digits of her phone number, whatever. I can do that in my call list or whatever. But like, seriously, this woman is straight up tripping. I didn't do anything to her. The only thing, but what I will say that I did, which is what I put on that screen, is I told her I backed up off of you because your proximity to Grinch. She's sitting up there talking about she would take a bullet for me when this motherfucker want to put one in me. Like, you know what I'm saying? You want to be cool with the person that's coming from me. And that's fine. I have never asked her about Grinch's personal life. She volunteered all that information. I wouldn't know shit about that. I wouldn't know shit about Grinch and him living with the woman, and the woman, footing all the bills and going through the woman's phone and finding out that he's cheating. I wouldn't know that shit. She did that. She's the one that disclosed all that shit. And then, like, this is what pisses me off, because granted, okay, you're hurt. Does that make you make up lies? Does that make you, like, she obviously was planning to do this all the time. I showed y'all the messages. She was trying to get me to send her stuff about people.
And let me ask a question, Carrie. You saying she's hurt. Are you hurt about what? That she feels like Nyla is picking other people over her?
Yeah, I think that's to some degree. I think that she hasn't said that specifically, but it was all triggered by this whole thing where she was like, I'm trying to be the loyal friend. I'm trying to have her back and she's not having my back. And so I think that's what kind of was the catalyst for all this. Now, over the past couple of months, there's been a lot of other little stuff that she gets triggered about and that, I mean, I think that's just, let's be honest, that's part of her personality, you know what I mean? And so I'm not like, every time she gets emotional about something, I don't take it for anything more than that. But I do think that a lot of the catalyst was she just felt like she wasn't being picked, if you will, over some of a JV cast, all the newer people, right, in the circle, when she's known Nyla for several years. And that they she's really said to me that she thought Nyla was the one that if something happened to her would, step in for her daughter. Like she really considered this a really strong friendship.
She knows that I would sit up all night listening to her. Okay. And she can, like, it is not an easy chore to be friends with Bayou Bunny. It's not an easy, it is very painstaking, but I sat up there and listened to her, let her confide in me. I did that. And yes, she is right. I am that chick. You can rely on me to help you with your kids. I will do that. She knows that. But what I don't do is get overly emotionally involved into she keeps trying to pull me into this other shit. And I'm like, what the fuck am I supposed? I'm grown, for real grown. I'm not gonna be sitting up here. You're paranoid saying that everybody's talking about you. She would have me literally beefing with all of YouTube. She's fighting with Gab in the chat box. Then she's fighting with Tiara. Then she wants to fight with JV. Then she wants to fight with this one and that one because everybody's coming for her when there's no evidence of these people coming from her other than coming from her brain. I couldn't G for that. Like throughout this whole thing, I've been sick. I've been all over the country. I've moved. I'm trying to deal with the fact that this motherfucker is stalking and harassing me. And then I got to deal with you talking about people are making videos about you who are not making videos about you. Like, that's not fair to me.
And I'll say this, like anybody knows that like in the midst of like, I'm working. So trying to work and do your content and keep a channel up, it's hard. So can you imagine moving, doing this full time? You got a family. Like, I think people need to keep in mind too, a lot of times when you think people are ignoring you or they're not, like literally life is, I've had to tell my mom that, like life is just happening. I'm not ignoring you. I'm not mad at you. I'm just a little busy right now. But like, so sometimes if you really want to talk to somebody, people get caught up in their own shit. All you got to do is reach out. But a lot of times there are just certain people who just end up taking shit personal that's really not personal. And now look at this shit. All this shit right here is unnecessary. All of it.
Yeah, this is some nonsense. And I'm sorry I'm chiming in right now. But Kara, I don't know if you spoke on what was said earlier. I missed it. So I don't know how long you spoke on. Did you speak on what was said earlier?
On what? Which part?
No, because you were saying that you needed the link. It was when we were talking about.
Oh yeah, about my name being put in, saying that I told Bayou or something. I don't know what the exact text message said, but yeah, I spoke on it and said I read the text message that I received this morning, and I said, well, that morning that said JV is going live talking about guns and shit. Basically, what you and Bayou talked about, and that's when I went into your chat and I spoke to you. You didn't speak back. I spoke again. You didn't speak back. So I sent you a message and I was like, hey, I got this text message saying that you were talking about something me and Bayou were discussing. I thought we were cool. Do we have an issue? You responded and said, no, we definitely don't have an issue. That same day, Bayou and I were on the phone for about 5 minutes and 28 seconds. I have it in my phone. And in that conversation, I said to her, yeah, I got a text that said JV was taking shots at me. I shot her an email. And when she and I talked, I said, yeah, she told me it wasn't about you. She did mention anything about you at all. She wanted you to know it had nothing to do with you. That was literally the conversation, about a 30 to 45 second conversation. And what I said was, I do not appreciate people putting me in their shit. And I ain't in nobody's shit. And if I have an issue with something, I go directly to the source, just like I reached out directly to you and asked you where you taking shots. You said, no, we're cool. Kept it moving. I told Bayou on the phone that day the exact same thing. It was a 30 to 45 second conversation. So I don't even know how my name got put in it outside of saying yes. Like we did have a conversation. I said I sent JV an email. But outside of that, I don't know what the whole context of that screenshot was. I didn't see it, but I saw my name and that's enough for me. So I want to make sure that if people say that Carob is saying anything, say that Carob is trying to keep this shit from coming to YouTube. Say that Carob tries to keep people from exposing personal information, because I don't think that's cool. But don't sit up here and try to, you know, say that I'm doing anything outside of that, because I don't have the energy or the time or the interest, to be honest. So that, yeah, I did speak on that.
Okay, yeah, because in what she sent to Nyla, it looked like she was saying that you were the one who reached out to her about what happened, or about my video where I actually name dropped exactly who I was referring to.
Yeah, when we were on the phone that morning, absolutely, I said your name. I said I sent JV an email because I got a text saying that she was speaking about me, and I sent her an email. Absolutely, I told her that, yes. But as far as like your video, no, like the conversation was me reaching out to you because I was informed that you'd mentioned something relative to our conversation. Absolutely.
Okay, so neither one of you is the person that made up this blatant lie about my video?
The text message came from someone else.
Okay.
That morning on August 1st at 7:54 a.m.
Going to, because she apparently didn't want to mention that person to Nyla either. We're not going to mention the person who heard me mention who I was talking to multiple times and reached out to you guys anyways.
No, I'm not going to mention them because I mean, it's not really relevant. So
yeah, it's not a problem, but yeah, you do understand that that is the problem though, right?
And that's why I made the video about the water carriers, you know what I mean? And that person has been instructed to no longer contact me. So I'm not going to bring that person up because at the end of the day, I'm the one who acted on the information. They could have told me that shit and I could have been like, whatever, but I acted on the information and reached out to you about it. So if anything, I responded to the water carrier. So I wouldn't necessarily, you know, mention them in the conversation because I think that once you told me that, I'm good with it.
Okay, so I was getting ready to share this what I had said to her. Because again, I don't know what the fuck she's talking about. I still don't know what she keeps saying, all this stuff that I've done to her. I have done nothing to her. Done nothing to her. Let me just send it to myself. Or you know what? I can log on to Patreon and get it from there. But so yeah, so if she's saying, so her issue, you think, I know you don't know for sure, but you think it has something to do with her not feeling right about what's going, like I didn't have her back in the situation with JV now.
Yeah, I think she's hurt. Like I said, and the same thing I said in the chat, like same thing I had mentioned to her yesterday when she went live about the China situation. Like, I think it's coming from a place of hurt. I'm just not like this whole shit today. Like, I wasn't cool with it. I asked her not to do this, you know what I mean? But like, I do think it's coming from a place of hurt. Like, she really sees you as a really important friend in her life. And I think because she feel like you didn't have her back in that situation, that was kind of the catalyst for it. So that's my understanding of it. And everything that she's ever said to me, Nyla, honestly, has always come, like, I won't even get into the woman's business, but everything that she's mentioned to me has always been like it's coming from a place of hurt, that she really loved you and saw you as just a really, really important friend in her life. And she wanted you to have her back.
I bet the thing is, Carob, I've always had her back. I've always had her back. I've never not had her back. But it's like, you can't just side with someone on bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I couldn't say that she was right for going in there cussing. She was right for, you know, not appreciating seeing those videos of Suge. And then, okay, she had some suspicions about, you know, some people. That's okay to air that out. But even when, as we're explaining, you would have like literally just had to be there on the phone. Like, she went the fuck off and was very unapologetic about it, even after we were trying to settle it. And even and then I was telling her, like, it's cool. It's cool. But my thing is, I'm not, the reason why I can't necessarily charge this up to her being hurt is because she's been planning this. It's obvious. If she's trying to get me send her messages, if she's sending abstract stuff like this, like talking about my subscribers in a situation where we're not talking about subscribers, she's been doing this all the time. And explain why, just thank God China knew that the receipt was fake because of the timeline. Just imagine why was she trying to get China to attack me? Why was she trying to do that?
Right. Why try
Why was she doing all of that?
create a situation, try to pretend as if, why try to set you up to start dropping pics on Bomb so she could try to make it seem like that's what that chat box was about. And
Right.
then I never had an issue with this girl. Like, I want to make it very clear. I've never, ever, ever had an issue with her. Everything between me and her is manufactured. And what is exhausting when it comes to YouTube, and even sometimes with people in general, I really don't like when we start to excuse someone's devious, disgusting behavior with anything. I hate when we try to excuse it with a mental illness. I hate when we try to excuse it and say maybe it's hurt. Because hurt does not turn into scheming. Hurt has nothing to do with having long plots. Hurt people don't just manufacture issues that they know is going to create an issue for themselves. Like, that all looks like conniving, right? That all looks like somebody really trying to plot and be devious towards someone else. And I think that when we start to speak publicly and say, because it's not even just for Bayou, because there are multiple people on YouTube who get a mental illness coverage. They get all types of coverage, even though these people are out here actively attacking people, actively threatening people, actively disparaging people's children, actively out here doing a lot of things and manufacturing stuff that takes strategy to actually execute. And when we may say it's because of their mental issue, it's because of this, it's because of a medication, it's because they're hurt. When we do that, we are enabling the behavior. That's what we're doing.
JV, do you think I'm excusing her behavior in this?
I think you are, but I don't think you're trying to, because I think that because you guys are friends, I think that, and also because you don't really know the inside, like you don't know everything that's transpired with me, and because you didn't know everything that transpired with Nyla, I think that your perspective is limited because you don't have a full 360 view. And I think because of being so close to her, I think it's causing you to not be able to step back and look at it objectively.
That's fair. That's very fair. The only thing I would say is the conversations we have had have been very strong, very firm conversation where I'm like, look, I don't think you need to do this. I understand you're upset. I understand you're vengeful, whatever. Like, I don't think you need to do this kind of stuff. So even though that I've become close to Bayou, I think a lot of my closeness to her is because I understand her hurt, and a lot of things she shared with me. And so you're right. I think that's a fair assumption that you just made, that, hey, I'm probably too close to it to be completely objective. But I also think that her and Nyla have had a very, very long and lengthy friendship, far longer than I've ever known her, right? And so I think that from that perspective, she's probably expected more from Nyla as her friend. And that's what I think is kind of the catalyst for her hurt. But I wouldn't say that you're incorrect about that. You're right. I may be excusing some of the behavior because I am close to her, so.
And you know what? Because even with this whole thing with picked me or picked Cass, like, that's total nonsense. It's total nonsense. Like, Nyla has never had to choose. Like, I'm so busy. I'm always doing my own thing most of the time. Like, there are plenty of times where I'm supposed to go on a stream and I just fall asleep because my schedule is just so different. So there has never been a situation where all of us has been on the phone, and Nyla has never even been put in a position where all of us was on the phone and she had to pick a side. Like those are things that has just never transpired. You know what I mean? Like,
so I don't. Wait a minute. So I just got a message about something I forgot. Okay. I know why she got mad too. I forgot about this. Okay, what happened was that she got mad when I disregarded what she was saying about Brother Rob being in Suge's chat. Okay. So Brother Rob was in Suge's chat and she was like, but he's a mod on your channel, and she started going in or whatever. And I was like, I just don't think that Brother Rob is like on that bullshit and all that kind of stuff. So I had to get off the phone, and then Cass got off the phone or whatever. And I think her and Irene and somebody else was on the phone, but she got mad because I hung up in the middle of it. But remember, I was in the ER. So like she got mad about that. But like it was, she did. I completely forgot about that, but she got mad. But let's get to, this is what's pissing me off. The whole going with the Suge, trying to make it seem like we out here fucked up, begging, homeless, saying that JV and Cass is taking care of me, and that I have never gotten a quarter from Ashlyn, but Ashlyn has gotten plenty from me. I've never asked her for money, ever. I've never gotten any money from her, never. But I have paid her rent. I have been there for her. I have been there through lots of stuff with her, but we don't ask this bitch for shit. So for her to sit up there and concoct some, that is not a person that's hurt. That's a person that's evil and vindictive. And just to sit up there and make that shit up with China and all that stuff, which I'm glad that China was up here to defend me and say that shit didn't happen. This is not like, that ain't hurt. That's evil. That's fucking evil. Like that's some straight up bullshit. Some straight bullshit.
Right. And then, you know what? And then the thing is, I mean, I'm just looking at this from the outside in, because I've never, ever tried to get in between your relationship with anybody that you've known before me. I've always respected that. As a matter of fact, the reason why I never really went at her neck, and actually have yet to do that, I've never done it yet. And I don't plan on doing it because it's really not conducive to my brand. It's not cute. But it's interesting that she's making it seem that all of this hurtfulness is coming from, she was trying to look out for you. She was trying to protect you. How is she trying to protect you and straddle the fence at the same time? Not that anybody ever told her to choose, but you can't possibly be that sensitive about my friendship, speaking as if I'm you, if you're making it clear to me that you're not going to choose a side, you're just going to roll on both, which is all fine. But if you're rolling both ways, you don't get to turn around and say, I'm hurt because you don't recognize that I'm 100% loyal to you. Like, it doesn't make any sense.
No, it don't make no sense to me, but I just like, to me, like, look at that. Even let's grant it that. Let's say, why didn't she come to me and tell me that she was hurt? Why did she go to care? That. Let's say, why didn't she come to me and tell me that she was hurt? Why did she go to care? Why didn't
Nyla,
she?
but didn't she come to you? Didn't y'all have a conversation
We had
maybe
it
in June where she talked and said that how she was feeling about that?
She had, yeah, but it was supposed to be over. She told, yeah, she did. And I'll tell you exactly how this conversation went. She told me that she feels left out in conversations and that she feels like, you know, that she doesn't add any value. And I've always told her that she does. I've always told her to stop thinking less of herself. She is the one that always thinks less of herself. And I told her that she wasn't. And she was like, and she did tell me, I feel like you were taking their side. I said, it's not that I was taking their side by you. I said, you were wrong. And here's the thing. She said that she was wrong. She admitted that she was wrong. But guess what she said after that? I don't have to apologize. But I never asked her to apologize. So I was like, okay. And so she was like, why do you think that I'm wrong? And I told her, because you just kind of went in on a hunch of stuff that you didn't really have, you know, completely laid out. And I was like, that, you know, that's not fair. And so we moved past that part, but she still was like, you know, I just don't understand why people expect me to behave a certain way. And I kept telling her, I don't expect you to behave a certain way. I said, but we're all in this space together. I said, none of these people are your enemy. They're not my enemy. So can we just get along? And I asked her, I said, has JV done anything specific to you? Has the other person that she was talking about done anything specific to you? Has this person? And she told me no. But she was like, she didn't trust them. I said, okay, I'll grant you that. But they've not done anything to show me to mistrust them. She told me I was too trusting, that I let people walk all over me, that she knows better and all this kind of stuff. And I was like, okay, so if that's the case, then if something falls out, then it's on me. But
So
that literally
Bayou-
was it.
Bayou just sent me a text message, and she said she wanted me to tell you this. She said, tell her that the money situation is what fucked everything up between us.
What money situation if we don't have no? I never got any money from her.
I know.
I never got.
I know that you didn't. I know that you didn't. I know that I know that you didn't. But she said that's what fucked everything up. So
no, I'm gonna tell
you.
Like, let's be honest about what fucked everything up. What fucked everything up is her. Like, I don't care what anybody says, and y'all may think I'm wrong about this. This is that Grinch shit. This is her talk. She thinks she's in a relationship with the Grinch. And she has allowed him to weaponize her, like we said in the beginning, against us. Because she was always saying, you know, Grinch is my nigga. Just think about the day that on the live stream when her and Taz was on that stream and we had the earthquake, right? Now, she's my friend, right? Right, Kara? She's my friend.
Yep.
The shit had just went down where Grinch is basically trying to ruin our brand and ruin our names, right? She met Grinch because of her proximity to us, right? Grinch immediately, from what I understand, he clowned her in a chat room or whatever and all that kind of stuff. I never would have did this right here. I never wanted to do. This is not what I do to people that I deal with every day. But she had that stream over there because she decided that JV was talking about her. And you know, I showed the messages where she basically made the shit up in her head.
And no, I'm sorry to interrupt you. She had that stream. I didn't show up or show out or respond out of respect for you because I don't want to beef with any of your friends. You
Right.
get what I'm saying? That's why I never really came for her. And because I kept giving it a pass and never came for her, she continued and kept calling me a coward up until the time when I was up on your panel and you asked me like a second or third time, is there anyone else, JV, that has been doing this to you? And I said, you know what? Might as well put it all out there. And I named her. And she came up.
And honestly, that I wasn't expecting you to name her. I wasn't even thinking about it. That caught me off guard. I thought it was going to be some more people you know, from like the whole like Suge stuff or whatever.
Right. But I named her because at the end of the day, I'm not going to be some fake. I'm not going to be fake. So she's one of the people who was doing something similar. And I named her because you asked me a couple of times. And even when she came up there, I didn't come at her neck. You know what I'm saying? We ended it very mutual, even though I know that the screenshot proved my point. And even though I know that this entire issue between me and her was 100% manufactured. Till this day, I've never, ever done anything to this woman. But I got screenshots in my phone of her talking about
Hold on. I just read what Taz said. That bitch is going around saying that Taz beat the baby and beat me. No,
I haven't heard that. What?
Are you fucking kidding me?
No, she didn't say that. I listened to that stream last night. She didn't say that.
No, she did a stream today. She's been streaming today.
Yeah, Carib, you must have missed the part where she also said that she was going to post a picture of Nala's grandbaby. But go ahead.
Right, but this man, wait a minute. Okay, so then it's all finna come out now. It's all. Taz has never fucking hit me, and he would not touch that. I cannot believe. Why would she make some shit up like that? You stupid bitch. Are you serious? Are you fucking serious? You have, oh my, why the fuck would anybody? Okay, so let's just do it then. Let's just do it.
Y'all, oh God.
Let's do it.
Jesus.
Okay, so drugs, cocaine, opiates, methamphetamine. Okay? Pass the fuck out. Can't pick up your own child from school. Got me calling people in a state that I don't even fucking live in and don't know to find a way to get to your child because you're coked out. Because you're fucked up. Selling pussy on Facebook. And I'm going to drop the receipts. I'm going to drop the receipts. Let me find my old phone and hold it. No, we're gonna have a whole fucking conversation. Fuck this shit. Hold on, JB. Let me get my other phone charged.
So basically what you're gonna do, you're gonna open your camera, no filters, all right? And you're gonna film yourself walking. Okay, so I'm standing on a bridge. I'm unemployed, but I am in my beautiful sister, my 6-figure sister's front yard, and I'm gonna walk.
It's called the walk, the walk. Just let your body talk.
I'm off the bridge.
In a trance.
Walk.
You don't need nobody.